so excited to be standing in front of you. My name is Dr. Lisa Longworth, and my work combines psychology, creativity, and spirituality. And this book took me a while to write because I am a very creative person, and the paintings that are surrounding you are paintings that I created when I was in the middle of writing this book, because at the time I became very inspired, and I thought the message of this book could be best expressed through traveling paintings. But that's another story. The story that I want to share with you is about my work and about how to navigate change using a creative process, creativity, and intuition. So my journey began in many ways by being lost. And that's one of the things I talk about in this book. I'm going to read you a quote from Dante. 750 years ago, he wrote about this. Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a forest dark, for the straight way. I'm going to do this again. Midway upon the journey of our life, I found myself within a forest dark, for the straight forward path had been lost. The straight forward path. And I love that because we've talked a lot about the conditioning that we have as human beings, and there's somehow in our minds and in the way our society is, we're supposed to be busy, we're supposed to know what we're doing, and we're supposed to be going straight. And yet life itself, especially in midlife, it's not at all like that. Often when you're really trying to be true to your heart and the authentic life that is within you, you get lost. For instance, when I was in junior high, I went through a very, very insecure period. In 7th grade, I went from knowing everybody in my neighborhood and school to knowing only one other person. And all of a sudden the cliques, I don't know if you experienced this in junior high, I think it's called middle school now, isn't it? But I felt like everybody was judging me and I was supposed to be part of one clique or another. I went to Point Loma High School, and in the process, my parents were also getting a divorce, so it was a really tough time for me. And I didn't want to be a part of any particular group. So I ended up making a piece of jewelry and wearing it, sold it to a girlfriend, started when I was going from classroom to classroom. I had a little box and I made jewelry, and I became known as the necklace lady at school. And it was really satisfying to have a sense of identity and creativity and to make money. And as I was saying, my parents were getting a divorce, and I figured the way to be safe was to have a lot of money. So I started to build an empire. Oh, that sounds funny, but it felt like that. You know, I'm gonna be strong and independent. I'm gonna have an international business, and I'm gonna be safe. So I set upon this path. Fast forward, I'm 19 years old. I'm living in a beautiful home. I'm in love. It seems like everything is going well, and I start to get sick. It turns out that I have a brain tumor. I had gone to like 17 different doctors. Nobody diagnosed me correctly. I have a life-threatening brain tumor. Fortunately, I had brain surgery, and I survived it, but I had a near-death experience where I realized that my life was much bigger than I ever imagined. And instead of seeing myself from the ceiling looking down at my body, I was out in space looking at the earth. The whole earth was so alive and it was so beautiful. And when I came back, I knew that my former life was gone and that I had to share this experience of connectedness and beauty everywhere. Everything was connected. So I was excitingly at 19 years old with no spiritual background or any of the words or language, I tried to share what I had experienced. Oh my God, everything is alive, and it's so amazing, because I knew that was the most important thing I wanted, was to share that joy. But instead, just the opposite happened. People became really concerned, and they suggested I go to a psychiatrist. And the more I tried to share, the more I realized I couldn't. That if I wanted to be a part of the community, if I wanted to belong, I had to shut that down. So I cocooned the most incredible experience and passion I had inside of my heart. And I decided I was going to belong and become like everyone else. So I went to school, I went to UCSD, and I did what I was supposed to do. About 5 years passed, and I happened to have the gift of going to a week-long painting experience. And in the process of the painting experience, I was able to let go. I was able to follow my intuition and open my heart. And when I was painting on these large canvases, something happened. Instead of making art like I had been working on in my degree at UCSD and making it look good and making it look appropriate so other people would like it and like me, and so I could be a famous, rich artist. Instead, I let go, and there was something that came through. There were these symbols, metaphors, there was some powerful something, a language that at last I could express what I had experienced. And I was on fire, because it's like being in love with somebody and you can't be with them because you're like Romeo and Juliet, I suppose. I was in love. My heart was on fire with this connection, and I couldn't find a language. So I found the language through painting. I painted like a wild woman. I painted 50 paintings and had this show called Transformations at UCSD, and about 1,000 people attended it. And at last, after so long, I felt like I belonged again, but with my own voice, and it set me free. And then people started coming to me and saying, I want to express myself. Can you teach me how? And so suddenly I found that I had the opportunity to get a master's and a Ph.D. in psychology and expressive art therapy, and I had a chance to develop my professional career to help other people. So in the last 33 years since then, I've worked with thousands of people and had the opportunity to crack my voice. I had the opportunity to help them go from this cocoon, contained, shut down, frustrated place into an openness to be more true to themselves and to move through this transformation. So in the process of that, this book is it's based on 7 steps or 7 weeks that you can do to go through a process of, again, kind of letting go of our conditioning, our thinking, to open up to some sort of creative, intuitive, I want to think more of our larger intelligence. We certainly have these amazing rational minds that have been developed, through maybe 100,000 years in the terms of the evolutionary journey of the neocortex and so forth. But we've kind of disconnected from that creative, intuitive, okay, I want to do something with you. Yeah, okay. Bones. Take your hands and go like this. Close your eyes. If you ever feel lost, you've got these bones. You have this intuition and this feeling through these bones. And as you're closing your eyes, I want to also say, get in touch with a frustration, an area in your life where you're feeling like you're imprisoned or in a cocoon or a container. And then open your eyes, and let your hands go, and reach under. There is a clipboard and some white paper and some colors. Great. Everybody, you have a blank sheet of paper, and you can open the clipboard and get the pens out. We are going to do a very quick exercise. Yeah, just a very quick exercise. We have to keep it right. All right, I'm going to take a break from this woman, this lovely woman. I'm getting a signal that she needs something. Okay. All right, thank you. So we're going to take 10 seconds and quickly make a scribble. So I want you to pretend you're about 2 years old and think about the frustration in your life and do a very, very quick scribble. Scribble, get it out, get that out. Just get it out really quickly. That's it. Everybody got it out on the page? Okay, and then you're gonna name it by letting the image talk to you. So look at the image, and if it's another person, just name it. Let it talk to you. Just tell it whatever its name is. Go for it. Okay. Put your pencils down. So if we had more time to explore this, we'd go to the next level of this drawing process. You'd dialogue with it, you'd get your intuition and your creative abilities to have a relationship with this drawing. And this may not make a whole lot of sense, but maybe some part of you goes, yes. So if you want to take off the drawings, yeah, and underneath here, okay, 2 seconds. There are 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to share these later. I'm going to get out of the way and let some of the other presenters talk. But in the end, I would like to go back, if there is time, and share a little bit about this.